Man, I didn't think I'd ever be the guy saying this, but my own girlfriend hired a damn private investigator to follow me. Yeah, she paid someone to stalk me like I was some criminal. And the craziest part? I wasn't even doing anything wrong. I was just working my ass off trying to keep us afloat. Me and Rachel had been together for 5 years. We weren't married, but we lived like it. Shared rent, split the electric bill, same damn Netflix account, the whole thing. We lived in a quiet little neighborhood outside Toledo, Ohio. Nothing fancy. Two-bedroom rental, one car each, dog named Max. I'm 39, been working as a mechanic since I was 18. Own part of a small auto shop with my buddy Trevor. Honest work, grease under the nails, busted knuckles, but it paid the bills. Most months. Rachel was 36. Worked remote most days, in customer service for some health insurance company. Sat at the dining table with her headset on, typing away while sipping on those $6 Starbucks drinks she kept buying even when money was tight. I never said anything about it because, hell, I was raised to mind my business and take care of my household. My dad used to say, a man works so his woman doesn't worry. I took that to heart. But Rachel? She always worried. About everything. If I stayed an hour late at the shop, she'd be blowing up my phone. If I didn't answer fast enough? Accusations. Who were you with? Why didn't you pick up? You always have your phone. At first, I chalked it up to insecurity. We all have our pasts, right? Maybe she'd been cheated on before. Maybe she just needed a little reassurance. So I gave it. I texted every time I left the shop. Called her before heading home. Shared my location, shared it, thinking that would make her feel safe. It never did. Because the problem wasn't what I was doing, it was what she believed about me. And once someone's made up their mind about you, nothing you do will ever be enough. I remember one night, this was maybe 3 months before it all blew up. I was laying on the couch, half watching the Cavs game, when Rachel stood in front of me with her arms crossed. She just stared for a second. I said, "What?" She goes, "You don't even seem like you care that we're distant." I blinked. "Rachel, I just worked 12 hours. My knees hurt. My back's killing me. I haven't even eaten yet. I'm tired, babe. That doesn't mean I don't care." She rolled her eyes. "You always have an excuse." That night, she slept facing the wall. Didn't say goodnight. Didn't kiss me. Max, our damn dog, curled up next to her like he was picking sides. Fast forward a few weeks. I started noticing weird stuff. A white Dodge Charger parked a few houses down. Same spot, different times of day. Once outside the shop, too. Then again at Kroger's when I went in to grab some steaks. Now I'm no conspiracy guy, but I'm not stupid either. Something felt off. The kind of off you feel in your gut before your brain catches up. Then Trevor, my business partner, he pulls me aside one morning. "Hey man," he says, "you know some dude's been sitting across the street in a car every afternoon?" I laughed it off. "What, like some feds?" He got serious. "No joke. Black guy, maybe mid-40s, camera with a long lens." I thought maybe it was some local paper or something, but now I'm not so sure. My stomach dropped. That night, I sat on the porch with a beer and just watched. Sure enough, Charger pulls up. Parks like 3 houses down. Headlights off. Windows up. I couldn't see much, but I swear I saw the silhouette of a guy looking straight at me. I finished the beer, walked inside, and Rachel was on the couch scrolling TikTok like nothing happened. I asked, "You notice a Charger parked down the street every day?" She didn't even look up. "No." "Why?" I shrugged. "Just looks like someone's watching the neighborhood." She froze for half a second. Just half. But I caught it. Then she smiled weird and said, "Probably someone cheating." It clicked. Right then. I didn't say a word. Not that night. Not the next. I needed to be sure. So the next day, I went to my cousin Marcus, he's a cop in Lucas County, and asked if he could run a plate. No names, no details, just curiosity. He owed me a favor. 2 hours later, he texts back, "Private Investigations Incorporated, licensed PI." That car's registered to them. I remember just staring at that message like I'd been sucker punched. I wasn't angry. I wasn't even hurt. Not yet. I was numb. I gave this woman everything. I busted my ass. I stayed loyal, faithful, honest. I didn't even talk to other women. Hell, I turned down invites from the boys just to be home with her. And she paid someone to stalk me? Over what? I came home quiet that night. Rachel was cooking pasta. She asked me how my day was. I said, "Pretty normal. Except I found out my girlfriend thinks I'm a liar." She froze, wooden spoon in her hand, halfway stirring the pot. What are you talking about? I didn't blink. The charger. The guy with the camera. You really thought I wouldn't figure it out. She opened her mouth, then closed it. Then tried again. I didn't know how else to get the truth. I shook my head. There's no truth to find, Rachel. You didn't pay for the truth. You paid for confirmation of your paranoia. She started crying. The fake kind. The tears without shame. You were always so secretive. I didn't yell. Didn't curse. Didn't throw a damn thing. I just said, you know what? I'm done. I'm not about to live in a house where I'm treated like a suspect. Since you're so good at hiring people to watch me, maybe you can figure out how to pay the bills without me. And I walked into our room, grabbed a duffel bag, packed my things. 2 pairs of jeans for shirts, my boots, and Max's leash. That dog was coming with me. No debate. She followed me, screaming, begging, accusing, all of it. I didn't say another word. I walked out the door, got in my truck, and never looked back. I think everyone has a snap moment in life. Not the kind where you break things or scream, but the quiet kind. The kind where something inside you just shuts off. That was me, standing in my own kitchen, hearing my girlfriend admit she paid someone to spy on me like I was some kind of criminal. Let me rewind just a little. After I found out from my cousin Marcus that the charger outside our house belonged to a licensed PI firm downtown, I didn't rush to confrontation. I watched. I waited. I let Rachel keep digging her hole, hoping, maybe, that she'd come clean, that she'd feel guilty enough to confess. But that day never came. So I played dumb for a couple more days, which wasn't easy. Every time she kissed me goodnight, I wanted to ask if she told the investigator what position we slept in. Every time she asked what I was doing on my phone, I wanted to say, shouldn't you ask your guy in the charger? But I stayed quiet until the detective messed up. It was a Sunday afternoon. I had driven out to Meijer to grab some brake pads for a customer's car I was working on in the driveway. Just a normal, lazy Sunday errand. I parked in the lot, went inside, and maybe 20 minutes later, I came back out, and there he was. Same charger, different block, same guy. This time, he wasn't slick about it. He had the driver's window halfway down, a camera on the seat next to him, and a bag of Wendy's in his lap like this was some casual job. The second our eyes met, he looked away and turned the ignition. I snapped a picture of his license plate, just to be safe, walked over, knocked on his window. Calm, no drama. He looked up like I just ruined his lunch break. I asked, "You following me, man?" He goes, "Sir, I can't disclose that information." I smiled. "You don't have to. I already know. Just want to confirm you work for Rachel Evans, right?" His face said it all. He didn't even try to deny it. "I'm just doing my job," he said. "Yeah? Well, next time you park in front of someone's house, at least roll the windows up. Makes it harder to get spotted." And then I walked off. That was it. No threats. No yelling. I wasn't mad at him. He was just the symptom. Rachel was the disease. I sat in my truck in the Meijer parking lot for a while. Didn't even start the engine. Just sat there, staring at the steering wheel, thinking about every time she asked me, "Where were you?" Every time she said she loved me, but needed more transparency. All the time she claimed she was just worried. Nah, it was never about worry. It was control. When I got home, she was in yoga pants, folding laundry in the living room. She smiled when I walked in, like everything was normal. "Hey, babe," she said. "Did you find the brake pads?" I nodded. "Yep." "Oh, by the way, your guy's not very subtle." She froze. It was the kind of freeze where her hands stopped mid-fold, her eyes darted sideways, and her lips parted, but no words came out. I dropped the bag of brake pads on the counter and leaned back against the kitchen island. Arms crossed. Calm. Still. "You know," I said slowly, "it's crazy. You share your location, you answer texts, you come home every night, pay bills, cook dinner, love someone for years, and they still think you're lying. So much, so they gotta pay a stranger to follow you around town." Rachel put the towel down and walked toward me slowly. "I can explain." I shook my head. "No, Rachel, you really can't. There's no explanation for this that doesn't make you look insane." She opened her mouth. "I just don't." I cut her off. "Just don't." The silence that followed was so thick you could feel it pressing against your chest. She looked like she wanted to cry, but nothing came out. And me? I was hollow, empty, like a switch had flipped, and everything I felt for her had been drained in an instant. She finally said, "I thought you were cheating on me." "With who, Rachel? I work 60 hours a week, come home covered in grease, and barely sleep. You think I've got the time or energy to entertain someone else?" She didn't answer. You didn't want the truth. You wanted to catch me. You wanted to be right. "I just wanted to feel safe," she whispered. "No," I said, shaking my head. "You wanted to control me. You wanted to run every part of my life, even when I wasn't home. You didn't want safety. You wanted surveillance." She started crying. This time it looked real, but it didn't matter. I was too far gone. "You know what?" I said, walking to the bedroom. "Keep the apartment. Keep the damn Wi-Fi. Keep the dog bed. Max is coming with me, by the way, but everything else? Figure it out." I pulled out my duffel bag from the closet and started tossing in clothes. Nothing fancy. Just my work pants, a couple of clean shirts, socks, boots. The usual. She followed me into the room, crying harder now. "Please don't do this." I just didn't know what else to do. "You talk to me. That's what you do. You don't go hire a stranger to dig through my trash and take pictures of me pumping gas." She sat on the edge of the bed, sobbing. Max jumped up next to her, confused. I bent down and pet him. "Come on, buddy. Let's go." I walked past her, through the hallway, grabbed my keys and wallet, and turned at the door. "You're on your own now, Rachel. Since you thought I was out running the streets. Now you get to see what it's like when I actually leave." And I walked out. That night, I booked a cheap Airbnb on the edge of town. Small place. 1 bedroom, creaky floors, weird smell. But it was quiet, and no one was watching me. The next morning, she texted me a wall of messages. First angry, then sad, then apologetic, then angry again. I didn't respond. I turned my phone on silent and went to work. Spent the day under a 95F, 150, grease on my face, and for the first time in months, I wasn't being watched. It was just me, the tools, the radio, and peace. And you know what? That silence, that stillness, was louder than every "I love you" she ever said. It took less than 2 weeks for reality to hit Rachel like a freight train. I didn't block her right away. I wanted her to feel the silence. I wanted her to hear the echo of a house that used to have a man in it. A house that no longer had warm meals waiting on the stove or the soft clank of tools coming in through the garage. I didn't ghost her. I just stopped showing up. And she folded fast. The first couple of days after I left, she sent the usual texts. "Please come back. We can fix this. I only did it because I love you." I didn't reply to any of them. I didn't need to. I knew what was coming. Because when someone leans too hard on a wall they never built, and that wall suddenly disappears, they fall. Hard. Let me put it in plain numbers for you. Our rent was $1,450 a month. We split groceries, electric, water, car insurance, dog food, internet, the usual stuff, but I paid the majority. Maybe 70%, sometimes more, especially in months where student loans hit harder, or she wanted to buy clothes or book facials or get her lashes done. I never minded. I was raised to provide. It wasn't about being a hero. It was just my instinct. But now the bills were hers. All of them. I had already called Toledo Edison and took my name off the account. Did the same with Buckeye Broadband, our internet provider. I canceled my half of the rent auto pay. I even called the dog's vet and updated the records. Max was officially with me now. No more shared ownership. I didn't make a scene. I didn't go on Facebook ranting. I didn't tell her family. I let the silence talk for me. Week 1, she was still in denial. Probably told herself I was just blowing off steam. Then I come back. Week 2, the tone changed. "You really just left me like that? I don't even know how to pay these bills without your half. It's not fair, Caleb." Now she wanted fair. I remember sitting in my new apartment, tiny 1-bedroom, just off Monroe Street, and laughing out loud reading that. Fair? Was it fair that I came home exhausted every night just to be interrogated like a damn suspect? Was it fair that she weaponized love into suspicion? That she watched me, tracked me, investigated me, all while smiling in my face? Nah, she didn't want fair. She wanted familiar. But what she got instead was the truth. Rachel had built this imaginary version of me in her head. Some man who was probably out creeping around, hiding something, living a double life. But when I left, and she had no one else to project her fears onto, she had to face herself. Alone. I heard from a mutual friend, Lisa, that Rachel had started skipping her hair appointments. Said she canceled a dinner with her girlfriend because she wasn't feeling up to it. The once overly made up, overly confident, always online version of Rachel had gone quiet. Lisa texted me, "Hey, not sure what happened between y'all, but Rachel looks rough. She's been crying at work and talking about selling some of her stuff to make rent." I didn't answer, just locked my phone and went back to my beer and ribs at BJ's Brewhouse. Meanwhile, my life, it got better, way better. Max and I had a routine now. Early morning walks around Wildwood Preserve, eggs and toast for breakfast. We're from 9 to 6 at the shop. I even got promoted by Trevor, offered me a full partner position since I was putting in more hours and showing up hungry to build something. I started sleeping deeper, laughing more, hit the gym 3 nights a week, got a new pair of boots. Hell, even went out with a woman named Jenna a few times. Nothing serious, but light and easy. No drama. No eyes watching my every move. No tracking apps. One night, around 11:30 p.m., I got a call. "Rachel." I didn't answer. She left a voicemail. "I know you hate me. I know I went too far. But please, I can't do this by myself. I miss you, Caleb. I was wrong. Just call me back." I listened to it once, then deleted it. 2 days later, another message. "They're threatening eviction. I'm behind on everything. I didn't realize how much you really did. I thought I could handle it all." It's funny how people only start to appreciate your presence when your absence starts costing them. I wasn't trying to destroy her life. That was never the goal. I didn't take her money or ruin her reputation or blast her online. I didn't show up to her job or key her car or flirt with her friends. I just stopped existing in her world. And turns out that was enough to flip it upside down. She went from emotionally cold to financially cornered, from having control to having collapse, from pointing fingers to biting her tongue. And while she was spiraling, I was rising. That's the best revenge, really. Not the loud kind, not the explosive kind, but the kind where you quietly rebuild your peace while the person who took it for granted sits in the ruins of what they thought they could manage without you. Months passed. I moved to a nicer apartment near Perrysburg, got Max a better vet, and started saving up for a down payment on a used Silverado I'd had my eye on. Rachel eventually stopped texting, probably out of pride or shame, or maybe both. But the final message she ever sent, and I still remember every word, said this: "You were never the problem. I was. And I lost the best man I've ever known because I couldn't see what I had right in front of me. I hope you're doing okay. I really do." I didn't reply. Not because I'm bitter, but because I really am doing okay. Better than okay. I'm finally living a life where I'm not being watched, doubted, or dragged down. A life where my worth isn't measured by someone else's fear. She paid a detective to follow me, but in the end, I was never hiding anything. The only thing I needed to do was leave and let her find out what life really costs when love turns into suspicion. And now, she can pay all the bills herself.